We talked about Jimmy Kimmel the other day. We played his audio, what he had to say about Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers was to be on Pat McAfee, which he was yesterday, said he was going to address the stuff. Well, Aaron Rodgers says he never called Jimmy Kimmel a pedophile.
He didn't.
And he doesn't think he is one. He was merely suggesting that there was an existence of an Epstein list would mean Kimmel was wrong and he was right. Here's what Aaron Rodgers had to say. Take a listen.
Unprompted, he comes out and says that I'm an overly concussed wacko. In my opinion, it seemed like because I believe that there was a list and that there were names on that. We fast forward to this last week. I'm quoting myself here. A lot of people, including Jimmy Kimmel, are really hoping that doesn't come out. End quote. I totally understand how serious an allegation of pedophilia would be. I'm not stupid enough to accuse you of that with absolutely zero concrete evidence. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How great would it be if Aaron Rodgers just went on Jimmy Kimmel's show? It would be
be
great for
awesome.
both of them.
Yeah,
it would be great for both of them if he went out there and he said, I am sorry. I did not mean to insinuate that you were a pedophile, but I did say you were wrong, that there would be a list coming out. And he would say, well, we all thought there would be a list, but you're blah, 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 and you called me concussed, and then we high five at the end. It would be perfect.
And also, they could debate Aaron Rodgers not being vaccinated and Jimmy Kimmel, who's multiple vaccinated and was pushing it all and saying, literally, Jimmy Kimmel said people that were not vaccinated for COVID should not be treated in the hospital. That they shouldn't be allowed to be treated or anything like that, whatever. So there's definitely a lot of back and forth where both of them are wrong.
Think of the private conversations Jimmy Kimmel and Howard Stern must have, like just two old ladies just gabbing about stuff.
Apparently Howard went off on Aaron Rodgers about this whole thing.
Oh, surprising.
Yeah.
What was it while he was getting his booster? Probably. His 9th booster.
And what was all the information that came out about that?
You know what
I mean? Like now,
I'm a guy who's been vaccinated and boosted, and I'm not. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know all the answers. All I know is I went to my friend who is a doctor who has nothing to gain by me getting it. And he said, yes, I'm getting it. Yes, I'm vaccinating my children. That was what I based on. My friend who's a doctor who I trust.
But then 2 years later, after all that happened, more medical research actually came out about it.
Yeah.
And
but I'm saying what I'm saying at the time is that everybody was saying that they were pushing this agenda that they're trying to get. But the truth was that medical doctors are the ones saying you should probably get a booster.
But I think the real argument was that there was a lot of research that refuted all of that agenda, and it was suppressed, and that was what upset a lot of people.
Well, look, I'm not saying it was not faulty. I think there was a rush to get a vaccine out because they were worried about a worldwide pandemic. And they even said, look, we're expediting something that normally we wouldn't do this fast, but it's not something we made up last week. We've been looking for a COVID-19 or what was it, the other one? The
SARS.
SARS. We've been working on this for a long time. We're just pushing it through a little faster because that was a normal situation that they were trying to save the world from a pandemic.
Right, but then Jimmy Kimmel was saying like people that aren't vaccinated shouldn't get treated in
Jimmy
the hospital.
Kimmel is an entertainer.
Yeah. I know, but based on the information that was given to the public, but I'm saying for him and other people that were fighting that fight for the vaccine and people who weren't vaccinated and stuff, they should at least come out and be like, and just drop the vaccine thing at least. Because he's still saying that Aaron Rodgers is a quack and he didn't get vaccinated.
I agree 100% with you on that. It's the same thing that people that argue about vaccinating your kids and the possible relation to autism and all that. There's no facts on that whatsoever.
Jenny McCarthy.
But there's no facts, and most of those people who go off on it and end up coming back and having to retract everything they said because they have bad information.
I think one of the most interesting things was the vaccine was done on Trump's watch, and Trump had to push through and did all that stuff, and people were like, there is no way I'm taking a Trump vaccine. That's the worst. And then as soon as Trump was out and Biden was in, they're like, oh, thank God, Joe.
Trump's vaccine was orange, which made it weird.
It was actually just orange juice. The coroner says that Sinead O'Connor died of natural causes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, once that guy left her.
Yeah.
I imagine she did a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Because wasn't she living in a motel at one
She
time?
was, and she definitely had some mental issues for sure.
If you worked in that hotel and they were like, okay, and your first name, and she's like, Sinead, and you're like, this can't possibly be Sinead O'Connor.
Right.
Like in that video, she was bald and she was singing and she cried, and you were like, everybody, even women, were like, she's bald, but she's so beautiful. Because she was very pretty. Then if you saw her in the later years, you were like, what happened? It was like they deflated her and inflated her 100 times.
Yeah,
She just
man.
looked terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Sinead.
I'm sure Mo knows about this, but Paris named a street after David Bowie on Monday in recognition of what would have been his what birthday on Monday?
75.
78.
81.
72. Carmen?
85.
77.
Oh, I was
Would have been
right
his
there.
77th birthday. Of course, he passed away back in 2016 at the age of 69.
Hey, you think it's worth throwing $1,000 on the Bucks to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
1,000? No. What is
I mean, the
the
payoff.
what is the
they have
odds?
a 4.8% chance of winning. So I don't know what that would mean. They're the lowest on the list of the 7 teams to win. So if you put, all right, $500 on them, you know, the 49ers are ahead. It's 49ers, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, Lions, and Bucks.
Super Bowl.
My prediction right now, if I had to say it, I'd say it's going to be the Cowboys.
You want to put $1,000 down?
Yeah.
You'll win 76 grand.
I got to tell you, it's almost worth floating $1,000 off. I'll bet 500 for 35 grand.
Yeah, when we didn't have Hard Rock Bet and we would be out in Vegas, I would always put money on some teams, and I would go long shots too.
Right,
just
that's
because
the whole
you're
point. Yeah. If it happens, it happens.
I'm going to bet 20 to win 1,500.
That's pretty good too.
Right, like you could do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's nice. Be all right. I'll take it. What'd you make me think of? You made me think of, we were talking about David Bowie. So today is how long since Jeff Beck died?
A year.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year today, which was wild because yesterday was Jimmy Page's 80th birthday.
The Wizard's old.
80.
Yeah, he's going to live forever.
He will live
Because
forever.
he has made deals with many
Right, he's not
devils.
banging kids. He just made deals with the devil.
100%, dude.
So he bought Aleister Crowley's house that he had.
Why would you do that though?
Because
But he said that it was freaky and he never really stayed there and wound up selling it. Yeah, he was like, "Ooh, that's a little too weird, a little too much with all that stuff." I don't want to live in a house where the Satanist lived.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anything where I go to take a leak in the middle of the night. I'd be like, I gotta go.
No, don't be afraid.
Why not?
Don't be afraid.
Of what?
Of whatever that noise is.
What if
Unless
it's just a guy in my hallway going?
Then definitely don't be afraid. You give him a what do you got?
No.
I remember when I was younger and my mom told me, she goes, if there's ghosts, it doesn't mean that they're bad.
100%.
Right.
Yeah, but they could be annoying.
Well, they could be, but it doesn't. Like you think ghosts, you think the ghost is trying to hurt you, something bad happened, whatever. She goes, it might not be bad.
Yeah,
It
we
might
have
be
ghosts.
your grandma or somebody, or
And most of the time, they're only there because you're thinking about it or you're like allowing all that stuff to creep in. They're not allowed on this planet. Yep.
My friend Rusty, sorry.
all right.
My friend Rusty died. He was like in my friend group since we were in high school, and he died when I was like in my 20s. And I remember I'd lay in bed and think if you can communicate with the dead, and I go, hey, if you can, Rusty, don't ever come to me. I don't ever want to. It would scare the hell out of me, and I don't want to do it. Like my worst, my grandmother and I were super close, but the last thing I need to hear when I'm in my room in the dark is Michael. No.
I think it would be nice.
By the way, don't forget, Carmen, you don't forget, just about 15 minutes until the first keyword for the bone bonus.
You know,
I got my
good,
alarm on.
You know, what'd be a good ghost, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
He is a ghost.
He
Right.
might be. Yeah.
Hello, Michael.
I'd be sleeping and he'd be like, hello, Michael.
That's why he can't do video. He keeps on trying to press the button on the camera, and he
dude.
just goes through the camera.
Fingers
I'm having
not working.
Technical difficulty over
Oh
here.
my god!
Carmen Electra filed to legally be known as Carmen Electra. Her birth name is Tara Lee Patrick. It's unclear what prompted the change, since she's been known by her stage name as Carmen Electra for a long time. But now I guess she's making it legal.
She still looks all right.
Oh yeah, she looks good.
Yeah.
She was in that the documentary, The Last Dance, with Michael Jordan, because whenever Rodman went to Vegas, and then she was in there, and she said that she was in bed with Rodman, and Jordan came in the room, and she like hid. She was like, I don't want to be busted.
She's so cool. She was super, super hot when I was younger.
I mean, she still looks really
Yeah,
good.
she's still pretty.
Like she hasn't overdone the plastic surgery like most women her age.
Do you know where she got that name?
I do.
Yep.
Prince?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was talking to my old agent, Ross Reback. We were having a conversation. He said, no one's more powerful than Prince. I go, Prince? Like, what? He goes, Prince looked at Carmen Electra and said, you are now Carmen Electra. And she's been Carmen Electra the entire time.
Damn.
Okay.
Which, by the way, Carmen Electra, Carmen. Mike still does not know how to spell my name.
Your I, she's E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how. I just don't care enough.
Go read the text chain. Exactly. You're just a jerk. You're a real jerk.
Carmen Electra, 51 years old.
Old firecrotch over here trying to get me to change something after 10 years.
I'm not trying to change it. That's how you spell my name.
I'm going to change your name to Hot Pocket.
I'll take it.
Has anybody been watching the Frasier reboot?
No.
Back. I watched a few
once.
episodes, and it was okay.
Yeah.
It's Frasier, but
I'm going through the old one. So.
I got to tell you, the old one's great.
Yeah.
The new Frasier is just like any other old comedy. It's all about accidental sexual innuendos.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Except now it's gay.
Kelsey Grammer wants Shelley Long to appear on the Frasier revival so he can, quote, end up with a nice thing between Frasier and Diane.
Yeah, because Sam and Diane got back together.
Sam and Diane, right.
At the end.
Yeah.
What happened to Cheers? I read that in the Frasier show, they tell you what happened to Cheers, modern day.
I think it closed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they say happened in the.
Isn't it in the last episode? They're closing.
Yeah, but I don't know. But what it is
Melville's now. Was Melville's taken over? Or?
Yeah, I thought
it said. The article said in the new Frasier reboot, they tell you whatever became of Sam Malone's Cheers.
Right.
So what it turned into, I guess.
Let me see.
Yeah. I didn't care enough to Google it. I just
read that. The creators of Cheers did not want the Frasier reboot to revisit the iconic bar, according to Kelsey Grammer, although there was no direct conversation about it. Still, Cheers writer confirmed that reboot's timeline. The bar is still open.
Oh.
And characters such as Sam and Norm are still there. This was from late December of 2023.
Oh.
That's what they say, but who knows? I don't know. Because I believe... what is it? Les Charles, I think, is with the Frasier reboot. He's the one who did it, I believe. So, I don't know.
Not watching it. Certainly not watching Night Court, although evidently people are.
Dude. It's the number one comedy in America. I don't know what.
Well, what are the other choices?
Well, but I don't know how they measure that. That's like when 2.5 Men was the number one. I go, how is that possible?
It's not.
I said, I have to write a show and then take away all the funny. Yeah. And make it the lamest show in the world and turn it in, and I'll be a multi-millionaire.
I'm going to tell you, yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot of easy jokes, and it's a lot of what you'd expect to come up. But people like Big Bang Theory and those sort of shows, you just get the obvious jokes that are coming, and everybody's
and
like,
that's a lot of people don't want to think, and they don't need, clever or anything like that. They just want to be hit over the head with the joke.
But I think they also don't want their lives. Like they don't want It's Always Sunny because a lot of people live that sort of dirty life. You know what I mean? They want something that's above that.
By the way, I love how people the creative process and how they come up with it. So Rob McElhenney, do you know how he came up with the idea for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? No. He said, I wanted the opposite of Friends. He goes, they're all so nice to each other and helping, and everybody's trying to work together. He goes, I just wanted a bunch of friends that hated each other and tried to screw each other.
A lot like this show.
Yeah. But how funny is that? Once you realize that, you go, yeah, that's totally what it is. It's great. Every time D walks in, you bird, you bird,
salt the snail.
We're fire crotch over here and everything. Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of old episodes of the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah.
That show is really funny.
Right. Well,
how old are you?
Golden Girls is funny.
What's his name that did Modern Family was a writer on Golden Girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The creator of Modern Family.
Yeah, some of those are really funny.
You're right. Carmen's firecrotch, fat, old, miserable,
psycho,
mental.
Yeah.
What,
angry?
Me?
No,
Are you still talking about
I'm
me?
going around the room just pointing at everybody.
I thought you were just describing me for a minute.
No, you're.
By the way, I'm 100% Dennis.
Well, you're just angry.
Yeah, I am a gold god.
When they play laser tag with each other and Dennis is forcing them to be mean to each other.
Dude, when they have the Make a Murderer about Dennis and he's just sitting there talking to himself and doing it's so good. That is such a funny show.
Joe is Frank all day.
Yeah, I always said it all the time that these two are the toxic twins.
Yep, Frank and Charlie.
Yeah, 100%. Eating cat food, sleeping in the same bed, trying to figure out who pooped in the bed.
Finding swords in the dump.
Joe is Danny DeVito with a lot of Kramer.
Yeah.
So wild. Like I feel like I look at Joe and I go, "Are you eating cat food?" Yeah. Michael, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. They give it cats.
It's cat very nutritious.
Cats are more picky than you.
I follow Seinfeld videos or whatever it is on Instagram, and they had a clip the other day of Kramer retiring.
Yeah,
it's so good. And he goes, "From what?" And he goes, "From the grind."
Yeah, the grind. Yeah.
And then he goes, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, got myself a little retirement present." He goes, "It's a gold watch." And then he goes, "It's not really gold. They go, oh.
Last night I watched it. And, it was the one where they were going to kidnap the dog.
Yeah,
the dog. And Kramer's like, "This is going to be on our permanent record. It's not. What's going to happen when I try to go get a job?" And Jerry just looked at him.